Well, hello and welcome everybody. Today is May 8th, 2019, and this is your Wednesday Team Prosperity meeting. I am so excited to be here with everybody. This has just been a great month, a great year. I hope that you're reaching all of your goals, and if you're not, there's plenty of time to get there. I appreciate everybody's time that's on the call, as well as the people taking the time to listen to the recording. So I've put together just a few slides, a few announcements that I wanted to go over. I'm really looking forward to Mike's training, so we'll go ahead and jump into it. Let me pull up my presentation. All right, so Wednesday, May 8th, 2019. The year is just flying by, and I hope everybody's year so far has been extremely productive, and we're here to help, every step of the way. So a few announcements. I wanted you to know what's happening. The first thing that I wanted to discuss is that on May 22nd, so not next Wednesday, but the Wednesday after, so in 2 weeks, we're going to have our own Trans-America virtual wholesaler training us. They reached out to me directly to see who's in charge of the Clemens office. I let them know that was me and Mike, of course, and they wanted to know when they can do a training for us. When they heard that we're virtual, they were extremely excited and got onto our calendar as soon as possible. They're going to be training us on the new Trans-America annuity. I think that there's an existing one, but there might be an additional one and some changes to that and improvements to that. And they're also going to talk about several topics on the life side as well. So we're very excited to have them. They should be able to go through our free conference call settings, and that's what we're expecting. So we'll be recording the meeting for the people that miss it, just like we do every week. So that's my first announcement. The second announcement, a lot of you have signed up for text messages through MyWFG to get, information about your team, production, that type of thing. Well, I noticed mine weren't working, so I reset them, and that wasn't working, so I called. And they said, oh, yeah, we're in the process of finding a better vendor. So I said, well, why is that still an option? Please remove it. So they went ahead and removed it off the profile settings until they find the new vendor for text messages. So if you haven't received text messages, it's not just you, it's everybody. And stay tuned. As soon as they get the new vendor going, I will make that announcement. The next thing, I'm getting a lot of questions about this. The next time that we're all getting together at the VIP Green Carpet Day at the Wealthway main office, which is right across the street from the WFG main office in Johns Creek, Georgia. It's right outside of Atlanta. So as soon as we have more information about that, we will definitely share. They do have a green carpet day every single month, and it's just a great time to get together. So we try to attend about, one every year, one every 2 years, just to keep, knowing what's going on. And just a few little memes that I've pushed out this week that I wanted to share with you. Believe in yourself and all that you do. Know that there's something inside of you that's greater than any obstacle. And stay positive, work hard, and make it happen. So that's really what I have. I'm a strong believer at being at the right place at the right time. Really feel like we're all here together for a reason. And really excited to be here with everybody. So let me go ahead and grab Mike. I'm really excited to see what he's got going on for training. Bear with me just for 1 second while I get him.
All right, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. Once again, just to reinforce the note that I put in, this is an odd time for a meeting. We have a lot of other company meetings that are going on. This was the best place that I could fit it into the week that made sense. So if you have a part-time partner that's working a full W-2 job, there's a 0% chance you're going to make this meeting. There's a lot of other reasons why people can't make this meeting live. Just make sure they know where the recordings are. We try to stuff as much information in these meetings that no matter if you've been here a day, a year or more, and no matter if you're a marketer, manager, or consultant or taking over multiple roles, hopefully you will take something out of these meetings. So let's jump in, talk about some things that will help you guys grow your business. One of the first announcements that I've got, guys, is we've been using sales jobs for a little while now. I think it's getting to the point where we're going to wind this down. I put it in put a Facebook post on the other day. We're clocking this at about 100 days, about 90 days left. We might cut it off a little bit earlier if I get some more feedback from you guys. We're going to move on to something else. So we've done what we could here. We'll move on to something else. You always have to think about evolving as a business person. You can't do the same thing and expect that's going to work forever. So we're going to try new things and go forward and help you guys on a team basis as well as an individual basis build your business to get to the goals that you're looking for. When you look at this business opportunity, you want to make sure that you understand three core concepts: the disruption that we're causing, the distribution model that we built, and the industry that we're affecting. Those are the three main points as far as just a broad kind of macro overview of what this business opportunity is: disruption, distribution, applying it to a very large industry measured in trillions. What you want to be able to do for yourself as you build your organization is you need to help your team by setting an example to follow. Help your team by monitoring your team. So there's a lot of different things that you can do to set the example. There's a lot of things that you can do within our systems as well as, just being a good manager and a builder to monitor your team. Remember, we're not in an office setting. So if you're not communicating with your partners, if there's not an open line of communication, it feels kind of like sometimes like you're on a desert island by yourself. And especially when you're new in this business, you need to have the communication coming from your upline to encourage you and to answer any questions, discuss roadblocks or obstacles that are having. Remember, when you were new, what kind of things did you want? Think about if you were brand new, what would you want from a manager? And try to set that example and try to monitor your team to help them. First 30, 60, 90 days is a crucial period for a partner-manager relationship. The CRM, one of the ways that you guys can set the example is by using the CRM correctly, making sure that the tiers are dated, making sure that notes are put in, making sure that the proper people are assigned to the file. People are watching you. So as a manager and as a builder, if you do things correctly, you're passing down good habits. If you do things incorrectly, you're not establishing a pattern or a structure that somebody can follow to be successful. The CRM, if I've never been involved with a file, then I should be able to go to a CRM file and read from the bottom to the top, and it reads like a story. How was the lead created? What was the communication? Where they are in the tiers? No matter what happened with that file, it should be documented. So remember, setting an example in the CRM will do great things for your business, not only directly, but the organizational growth as well. Also, as you become a manager and build a business, you need to understand the commission structure. There's a couple of different ways that you need to understand that. Number one, if a partner comes to you, you need to be able to effectively teach them and help them understand the assembly line, how that's broken down, how people get paid, how it affects their commission. If they're an inviter, manager, consultant, you need to understand how those people are paid, how the sale is chopped up, and how that will ultimately affect the commission as it comes in. Also, you need to understand how to read a statement. If you've been in this company or this organization for a while and you can't read a statement, you need to get with somebody who can read a statement and teach you on that. Because if a partner comes to you and asks for help with the statement, you're only going to be able to BS your way so much in this business. You've got to grow, you've got to progress, and you've got to be able to, when people come to you, have the answers they're looking for. So understanding the assembly line and understanding how to read a statement are very important. Also, make sure that you're helping your new partners as they come in. Yeah, if you've been in here for 6, 9, 12 plus months, you understand how to use a three-way call. You understand how to open a screen share. Not everybody does when they come in. You don't want those first real interactions with clients or partners to be the testing point. So make sure as a manager, you're working with those people coming in to effectively be able to do two things. Do a three-way call and establish a screen share. 12-week year, we're right in the midst of the 12-week year. We're coming up on week 4. You need to, if you're in the 12-week year, power through. If this is your first time and things aren't going well, just remember the one piece of advice that we gave you. If this is your first time, power through to the end, because you're going to learn dealing with the 12-week year. But you're also going to learn from the other partners in the WHAM group. You're going to take value away from that. So the next time around and going forward, you've got a good idea of what you did wrong the first time, what you need to correct, and you'll extract more value. This is not always about having high scores and being proud of them. It's about having low scores sometimes, evaluating the week and seeing what happened. And I throw this out there. I put this on Facebook. I'll put it out right now. My scores last week were 39%. My calendar was pretty much jam-packed, but I've got to find a way to get the things that I need done in my 12-week year done. No excuses. It's 39%. I've got to get better at this. So remember, when you have a low score, no matter what you do in life, there's one of two reactions. I'm going to quit or I'm going to correct and move forward. You always want to be on the other side, correcting, going forward, getting better. It's really easy to quit, and we've talked about this in previous weeks. Your brain loves habit. If you get into the habit of quitting everything you do, it's going to be even more easy to quit going forward, and that's just not going to lead you to anything you want in your life. The vision. Part of the 12-week year is the vision. And part of the problem in my first couple of attempts with the 12-week year is my vision wasn't strong enough. I didn't feel it. It didn't get me up out of bed in the morning. The vision is going to drive you to do the activity that is maybe comfortable and uncomfortable. So your vision is going to drive the motivation that executes on the back end. Remember that. Just like in the F&A, the vision for the client is those goals and dreams. You've got to have a good vision, or if it's not going to propel you to do the things that you need to do. Also, remember, we have to diversify our marketing. We can't be a digital marketing organization and do the same old tired marketing that traditional models are doing. You constantly need new eyes and a new audience. You need to develop multiple channels, and you need to learn how to massage the relationship with the product or the opportunity. We're going to be working on this stuff going forward. We want to, like we've been talking about in previous weeks, move from outbound marketing, where you're initiating all the communication and conversation, to inbound marketing, where people have been exposed to things that you've put out and they're actually raising their hand. They want to talk to you about the product or the business opportunity. We're going to be working on that going forward as a group, and we're going to be working on that going forward as individuals. Two ways to market, really. Number one is direct marketing. The other way is indirect marketing. And indirect marketing can be giving something away of value. So when you look at a lot of what people do, they're good marketers online, they're giving something of value to you for free to capture data, to open a conversation, whatever it might be. So that's one of the things we're going to be working on, is establishing things that we can put out there that has some value to the other side, that they're willing to, for that valuable information, just leave some contact information, name, email address, phone number, so we can open up a conversation that could lead on the backside to product sales, potential partners coming in. So outside of what we're doing for marketing and in terms of the diverse channels and what we're going to help you guys set up, also you want to set up indirect marketing, where you're going out there in the open marketplace, offering value and establishing some relationships based on that upfront value proposition. One of the things that WealthWave does to try to capture information by being value-driven on the front end is giving away the American Dream Sticker Shock Report. It goes through how much is the American Dream, breaks everything down. It has value, and that's one of the ways they capture data. So these are the things that I want you guys to think about going forward. What can you do that's not going to cost you money? Maybe you can make a report. Maybe you can make some type of PDF or something that helps people with their marketing, with their lead generation, whatever it might be. And by giving value away on the front end, it's a lot easier to open conversations and establish relationships. So what I decided to do is take a test market. It's 14 of you guys, and spend up to an hour every week helping you build your business. Now, as these 14 people go through this process and they're on a nice path, they understand what to do, they don't really need that direct help every single week. We'll have a rotation. We'll have new people coming in as old people come out. I took a sample size of brand new people that have been in here for a while, and we're going to help them. So those 14 hours that I've blocked off in my calendar for 14 separate people will be a revolving kind of door. As they get to the point they don't need me, we'll open up new people. Well, that sounds like a lot, but we're coming up to the time period of the year where it's getting really hot. If you talk about some of the other ways to devote 14 hours. A lot of these people out there, especially in the insurance industry, they're walking around going door to door in 100-degree temperature in July, August. Compared to what I'm doing with you guys, this doesn't even really feel like work. I enjoy working with you guys. I enjoy working with entrepreneurs, and I enjoy seeing you guys become successful. So as a manager, yes, there's a time commitment, but just realize that time commitment is going into things that have a real investment. You're not walking around. You're not wasting time. You're not driving around. The investment that you put into yourself and other people who deserve that has a great return on the backside. So just remember, everything's an investment, but especially time. When you're looking at branching out, opening up marketing ideas, really becoming a better marketer, don't forget, one of the great places to start is VFG Pro and the social marketing systems. It's got tutorials, it's got samples, it's got a lot of different things that you can look up in there. Always, always, always continue to educate yourself. And going a step further, you know, if you're running classified ads, there's text and tips, there's the co-op if you want to get involved with that. There's different ways that you can approach this business from multiple different standpoints, directions, and angles and be successful. It's not a one-way lane here. The more you educate yourself, the more you're willing to put yourself out there, the more successful you're going to find yourself. So spend some time doing some research and test different ad and marketing approaches to create inbound lead generation. Remember, less outbound going forward. We're going to try to create more inbound, and things are going to work at different times. We talked about this. The classified ads right now, we're at full employment almost. We are at full employment. So with that in mind, you know, a classified ad, it's not going to get the same response it did 4 or 5 years ago. Now, if we had a recession and people are looking for opportunity, you know, those will be a better way to go out there. But as of right now, you have to make sure you understand things are going to change. As things change, you need to change too. If you get stuck in a rut and things aren't working and you're unwilling to go out and try different things, it's going to be problematic for your business. You're not going to have much to pass down to your partners in terms of viable methods and ways to go out there and create leads. Remember, your tier language, it leads up to if the person's licensed to tier 6. That's when they become a partner, and we'll do some extra stuff for them after that. But if they're not licensed, remember, we stop at the tier 5, and that gives them a chance to do 2 things. Finish studying and get licensed, complete the exchange if they haven't done it, and access the virtual financial university. You don't want the reason that your partner never finds success in this company is because they never passed the test. That's a hurdle for a lot of the industry. We have really high licensed agents percentage, so we're doing well at that. But remember, as soon as they complete that tier 5, it's your job as a manager to check in with them and to push them in a positive way to get through with this test. If you do not contact them after the tier 5 and it goes on weeks, that's a leading indicator that person's probably not going to make it through the testing and actually become a partner. So don't let the end of the tier 5, where they're supposed to be getting licensed, completing the exchange, and accessing the university, be a time period where there's no or little communication. Getting licensed is an important part because when you come in here to capture every dollar that's supposed to be yours, you need a license. And once again, don't let that be your partner's obstacle for never finding success in this company, because really that's the start. You've got to get a license to get paid. Also, when you're evaluating phase 1 for your partners, about really statistically speaking, about half the people do it with personal policies, the other half do it with outside. So we talk about the 3-pronged litmus test that we want to make sure they pass, not to cause chaos in your organization, because if people are just throwing things against the wall to take advantage of the standard of fast track, and they're not passing the 3-pronged litmus test, it's going to be a problem. So it needs to be suitable, needs to make sense for their situation. It needs to be something they can afford. Going through the tier training, they're going to get an F&A. You're going to be able to identify, is this affordable or not? And can they medically qualify? If they pass that 3-pronged litmus test, let's accept it. If they don't, let's take a pause, because just putting something on the board to take advantage of this that's going to drop off later is not, you know, really the reason that we established this for you or your partner. Remember, our model you want to look at as a digital factory. We bring in raw talent, people that we think that fit into a profile that we can take with our training, tools, and support, and on the backside create a finished product that's senior vice presidents, independent agency owners, leaders, and 6- and 7-figure earners. We want to have the most 6- and 7-figure earners of any company around. And we do that by bringing massive disruption to one of the largest industries in the world. It's very possible, and it's very probable that's going to happen. So what are the possibilities? If you look at us as a factory and you look at the end product as being independent agency owners leaders, senior vice presidents, and 6- and 7-figure earners, what does that mean for your distribution or franchise opportunity? It's limitless. It's an unlimited opportunity, and that's very rare in life. So understand that what you're doing every day is building up to a potential endpoint where you've got a cash flow asset that you don't have to have heavy-handed day-to-day activity. It's going to pay you very nicely and continue to grow, not contract like a book of business over time, but grow as a free-flowing business. Remember, guys, in the beginning, it's a learning curve. So what I look at as a badge of honor really in the beginning is the CEO 10 Club. When you've reached that, I consider that really you getting past the learning curve, you learning. And from those 10 people that you brought in, who knows? You might have a couple partners out of that. You may have gotten a couple clients out of that. But overall, it's really about to learn the profiling process. Who made it? Who didn't make it? Who didn't make it? Why? And go forward to strengthen my partner persona so that I'm identifying and talking to certain types of people that have already been proven in the system to be somebody that we think can be successful here. The survival period in the beginning, guys, and that's really what you want to look at your business in terms of what's happening. It's going to go through some patterns, and really this is what I see as your business. You're going to have a survival period. In the beginning, it's just about surviving, making it through those first number of months to where you finally get a turning point. And then from that turning point, you're going to have a period of growth. And then it's almost like clockwork. Everybody that you come through, they're going to suffer a slight setback. And when that setback comes along, you've got to understand that's expected. Don't worry about it. We've all experienced it. If you get past that setback, it's going to lead to an extreme growth period, which overall gets an organizational development in place. And then after a while, you're never going to look back, and then you get to an exit point. So remember, you can't get to an exit point without the survival period. If you don't get past the survival period, all the rest of this, you're leaving on the table. The exit is not going to be a 0 to 60 exit. It's going to take some time. It's going to take a number of years. But in that period of time, just remember what you're building and the cash flow opportunity there. Digital disruption is a real thing. We're not trying to prove it. And if somebody on the other side is talking to you, thinks that you need to, as a point of business opportunity and conversation, need to prove digital disruption, that's a major red flag indicator mindset and the vision that we're looking for. We're just applying that blueprint to a very large industry. That creates massive opportunity. That's why we always say, guys, when people evaluate this business opportunity, I really divide them into two camps. People who instantly understand it, and then from that point, we have to see, are they motivated, and do they have the excitement to get this business done? On the other side, people that don't understand this, it's very quick. You're going to be able to pick up from their language, from their tone of voice, what exactly is going on in their mind. It's not a big deal, guys. It doesn't mean that we're right, they're wrong. That's not what this is about. It's okay. It's just not a right fit. Everybody's wired differently. It makes the world go around. Just understand you're looking for a certain type of person. If you're having a string where you haven't really had a partner come in, don't violate your own standards just to get a number on the board, because 0 is always worth more than a negative number. So if somebody comes in here and we spend all these hours training them and they don't do anything, I would rather for you and for us have no partner at all. So just remember that. It's definitely quality over quantity. Don't sacrifice your standards if you're hitting a rough patch here. And remember, in the beginning, guys, I want you to evaluate your business not from an income or a cash flow perspective. I want you to look at it the same way that we did during the dot-com era. So the early days of tech and dot-com, it was impossible to evaluate the companies and the stock prices on normal metrics like revenue and profit. So companies were evaluated on traffic to the site. Well, if we apply that same standard to virtual financial, look at your company in the beginning stages the same way. Traffic to your assets, recruits in the business is all you need to worry about. The rest will take care of itself. Now, I didn't include clients in there. Obviously, clients is a part of our business, but I'm looking at the overall agency growth. If you concentrate on certain metrics in the beginning and don't get sidelined or distracted by other things, your business will develop and things will start to take root for you. And then you can evaluate as people come in. Did they make it? Did they not? And strengthen that partner persona based on the successes and the failures that you've seen come through. Define the business problem and offer a solution. Goes for the client side too. Define a problem, offer a solution. The solution, obviously, on the back end could be products, could be business opportunities, but in the beginning, you need to identify certain types of people that you're talking to, potential problems that you think they may face, and a solution that you're able to offer. So does it work? Yes. Continue on. If it doesn't work, go back to the drawing board and develop a new marketing plan. Once you guys develop a handful of campaign strategies, marketing plans that are effective, you just repeat those as long as they're working. If it's not working, don't continue to go with something just to say you have some advertising or marketing out there. And remember, when you're out there, don't get overloaded with thinking that you have to go through all of the thousands of advantages that we have. I stick to the big six, and that's a market advantage, that's a social media advantage, compensation advantage, administrative advantage, system advantage, and technology advantage. If you look at these six advantages and have some couple, quick, to-the-point references about why it's an advantage in our model, it will do you a great deal of good in developing the language and the verbiage that allows you to talk to people in a clear, concise, effective, articulate way that gets your message across without being, overburdened the other side with so much. If you give somebody too much to concentrate on or too much to absorb, they're going to shut down. It goes for the partner side as well as the client side. You guys are in a great position. And when you look at the four types of business strategies, position, innovation, disruption, execution, we're hitting on all four cylinders. This is a digital gold rush. You're able to take an old, stale, stagnant industry, and now we've got business flying at web speed. So once again, going back to reinforcing why you're in here, a lot of those reasons are going to be the same reasons that other people are interested in this business. So develop that language, that verbiage, the reasons why you're doing what you're doing. Learn how to frame your conversations, and things will get, pick up the velocity of every part of your business. Also, recognize that we just talked about this. Everybody's wired differently. If somebody's an employee and they want to make the jump, we've got a legitimate avenue where they can make a bridge, continue with their full-time W-2 employment, get a lot of help, devote 10, 15 hours a week to this, and potentially have a business opportunity that in the future they can move over to. A lot of entrepreneurial opportunities would not offer that bridge or that structure. So understand that you've got a great bridge for the entrepreneurial mindset that hasn't jumped yet. Also, you've got a great opportunity for the self-employed if they recognize the quadrant they're in to move over to the business owner. If somebody's self-employed and they're okay there and they want to continue to doing that, once again, there's no rebuttals. They're not right. We're not wrong. We're not wrong. They're not right. It just means that it's not a good fit and you move on. If you get into the habit of trying to close people and bring them into this business, it is going to be a long, hard grind. You're going to get very, very frustrated. If you look at your business as a venture capitalist would look at a business for investing, there's a couple of things they normally do. When they get the business plan review, a venture capitalist, most of them turn to the very end of the plan because they want to see one thing and one thing only. They want to see the numbers. Before I talk about anything else, do the numbers make sense? Well, in our business, the numbers definitely make sense. So if you're evaluating this business opportunity, you look at the numbers between personal income, agency income, expansion income, and bonus income. The numbers are there to support the effort, time, energy, resources into this business to make it happen. Also, another thing that we would do as a venture capitalist evaluating the business opportunity is what are our advantages? What is our disruption? What is our, what are we taking to the marketplace that's new? Well, you've got an assembly line that allows inviters, managers, and consultants to all work together. Where in the traditional model, one person has to wear all the hats. You have a high systemic failure rate in that model based on the fact that everybody's not good at everything. No one wants to wear all the hats. We allow people to gravitate towards what they want to specialize in, but also grow with the business, which is really nice. Over time, somebody wants to be a consultant, great. We'll help train them, support them, shadow them, whatever it is they need to do. But they're not forced into those roles in the beginning, and they're never forced into those roles going forward. Also, we have a great system. So another way you want to evaluate the business opportunity is, how do I exit from this? Is everyone going to be leaning on me for years and years and years to come? We talk about this. That might stroke your ego, but it's going to do nothing for your financial situation in the roadmap that we laid out. You want an exit point. You want to be able to go do other things and not have to worry about finances, not have to worry about creating money. It's created for you. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. So our system is definitely something that allows people to build big businesses, have an exit strategy, but also, remember, allows the average to become great. That's a big part of our model. So when you're out there evaluating the open marketplace, really this is what it's all about. Where does someone want to be? If they're happy where they are, great. A lot of people are not. So where do they want to be? Do they understand where they want to be? When you ask somebody where they want to be or what their goals or dreams are and they can't come up with something, there's no vision there. When you're talking to somebody and they have a defined way they want to live their life, a defined position or point they want to be in their life, where do they want to be? And how can they get there to where they want to be? Are they currently on an avenue or path to get there? What's it going to take? How should they proceed? So remember, you're reverse engineering a lot of these times back into where somebody wants to be, going all the way up forward to offering a solution to get them there. We are not asking for a large financial investment in the beginning. A lot of people that come into this company would not be able to make a large monetary or financial investment into this company. What we do require is a time investment. We require some sweat equity, a little grit, some perseverance to see this through. It's an unbelievable opportunity. You don't have to have deep pockets. You don't need additional capital. You don't need additional infrastructure as you move through this. It's an unbelievable opportunity, but there is a time requirement, a time investment, and time is one of the most important things that you can invest. If somebody puts the right energy, time, attitude, outlook towards this model, it can return an unbelievable back-end opportunity. Tier 1 ABC is the key to your business. So when I talk to people and maybe the business is not getting off to as fast a start as they want, first thing I really ask them, how many Tier 1 ABCs have we had over the last 30, 60 days? Because if it's little to none, that's what's clogging the pipeline. So then you have to look at, well, why am I not having enough ABCs? Well, it's probably when you trace it back, not enough videos going out, not enough conversations open, not enough marketing funnels being, delivering those trickle of leads that we need. So the ABC is going to unlock your business. Partners, clients, it's going to do a lot for you. You need to build up. If you can get up to 20 ABC calls a month, then your business is going to explode. And in order to get there, you're going to have to figure out, okay, what leads to an ABC call? How many contacts do I have to make? How many videos do I send out? What's the follow-up schedule? Where am I normally resolving leads? Most of my leads are resolved between the 5th and the 8th follow-up. A lot of people in the industry, this industry and every other industry, would not make a 5th to 8th follow-up. So remember that. You can separate yourself from the crowd by doing follow-up. Follow-up is going to make you either, if you do it, a big earner. If you don't do it, a small earner. On the building side, if you do it, big builder. If you don't do it, small builder. So the ABC unlocks your business, and the follow-up will make sure to get that business actually coming in, whether it's client or partner. The videos that we send out, guys, if somebody's interested in the business opportunity, make sure that those videos are being watched. If somebody shows interest in what I'm communicating with them from the other side, I want them to watch the videos. Within the first 24 hours, it's great. That allows me to resolve that lead quickly. We never, ever, ever push people to come into the company. That is a recipe for disaster. You push people to watch the videos. You never push people to come in the company. Also, the lead conversion process. You've got the lead conversion, contact conversion, sales conversion, closing rate. Ours is basically just a three-pronged approach. Marketing goes to the CRM, and through the system that we have, it's going to deliver one of three outcomes: partner, client, or neither. When you are talking with people, make sure that you understand we have everybody. Now we have very short attention spans. We forget things very easily. It's just the environment that we're in. So what you say in that first 20 seconds is going to prevent a flight response from the other side. So remember, when you are talking to people, talk about them. Make it clear you're interested in their well-being. You want to help. So once we go back a couple pages, where do they want to be? That shows interest in them. And by showing interest in somebody else and allowing them to talk and not overpowering the conversation and just cramming stuff down their throat, like we just talked about, shows interest, but it's also going to give you the information you need. So when I'm asking questions, I'm just sitting back taking notes because I'm getting all the information I need to take the conversation where I want to go. And just remember, if you've ever been at a cocktail party, a dinner, and somebody was only talking about themselves all the time. It's annoying. It triggers a flight response because we're hardwired to be attracted to people who actually care about us and our well-being. It's easier to do this in the beginning. As you learn more about our company, our system, all the great things we have to offer, sometimes we get in the habit of wanting to tell everybody that. So remember, show interest in other people, let them speak, and let them divulge the information that you need to make the call, offer a solution to their problem or goal. That the answer could be virtual financial on the product side or virtual financial on the business side. And also understand when you're out there, people need to understand what's going on. If they have no understanding, somebody can't just be excited about this opportunity. They've got to be able to understand what we have, the importance of the cash flow quadrant, digital disruption, disruptive model, distribution over sales, freedom associated with the virtual lifestyle that we give people instantly, the advantage of having a system to plug into, understand what a deal it is to access this platform and this opportunity for the price, appreciate what a staggering number this platform pays out, understand what it means to have a cash flow perspective, to have something in place that allows exponential growth with little to no fixed or variable expenses. Remember, we talked about when a business grows, they normally add expenses when they add revenue. When you scale an operation, you're adding revenue, but you're only adding expenses at a very incremental rate. So it gives you an opportunity, a great cash flow opportunity. Understand what financial and lifestyle freedom really means, and understand what's happening to market shares in these transformations. You're looking for smart, savvy people, entrepreneurs or entrepreneurial mindset of people that understand this. Partner A, partner B. We just talked about this. Bring in the people that are qualified. Keep the people out that are not qualified. You may have a client-based opportunity there, but like we just talked about, if you get into a little rut, power through the rut. Don't just get in the habit of sacrificing your standards, discarding your partner persona, and just bringing anybody who raises their hand and says they're interested. Also, you have to make sure that the people that you bring into your organization are going to be willing to learn new things. We talked about this last week or the week before. You can't teach anything to anybody who already knows everything. So one of the things that we do in our evaluation process is this person willing to go out, learn new things, establish new avenues, really put themselves out there. I was talking to a partner yesterday, and he was saying that he had finally gone out there and put out some personal videos. He was telling me how they weren't good in his opinion. His wife said they weren't good. But that just shows that over time, nothing that you do on the first attempt is going to be good. And when you go Facebook Live and you have zero there, like Grant Cardone talks about, it hurts. It doesn't make you feel good, but you're not going to get to 1,000. You're not going to get to 10,000 plus without going through one. So it's all going to take a building process, putting yourself out there, probably creating some content that isn't that great, but learning from it and be willing to change. Everything is changing very rapidly in our lives right now. If somebody wants to stick to the same old way they've done business, they're going to get run over. We're looking for people who are willing to go out there and try new things. And realistically, it all comes from two things: understanding what my market is and what my message is. And we're going to be working going forward. I've got those 14 people that I'm going to be working with to establish some marketing that has targeted people that we're speaking directly to as that type of person, with a defined approach that allows us to talk to that person, maybe uncover a problem that we've got a solution for. There's different types of marketing campaigns on the partner side and the client side. You can't talk to the same people with the same message and expect it to resonate with everyone. What does your product or business do? And what does it solve? Remember, if your solution is to the habit of being solutions-based, it's going to drive a lot more traffic, and that's going to drive a lot more conversation. So what is it that your product or business does? What do you solve? Understand the generations. We've talked about this before. This is very important. You can't talk to everybody the same way. Baby boomers have a view of the world and specific problems that are different from Gen X's view of the world and their specific problems, which is different from the millennials' view of the world and their specific problems. You can't just throw out blanketed stuff out there and expect it to resonate with, an entire audience. Speak to people for who they are. If you get in the habit of doing that, you're going to uncover a lot of things. There's the Wealth Wave has the videos that you can start to learn more about these different generations. They're also on my YouTube channel. So understand the audience that you're trying to talk to, understand what they're probably facing, and offer solutions. Solutions-based marketing is going to get this thing really rolling for you. Don't get overly attached to the end result. Tackle a little bit of everything every day. Start following up. This is important. Don't look at all the metrics of your business early on. Look at the metrics that are going to drive it, which is the activity in the beginning. That's all you have to concentrate on. And remember, following up, when I look at the people who have come through this company and dropped out in our organization, when I go back and look at their CRM, it has little or no activity, or they might have been good at creating leads, but there's nothing in there. They might have been got an original email, and that's it. This is not a business. We're not giving away money. People aren't going to be knocking down your door to come in this business. It's going to take some effective marketing and some effective follow-up to find the right people. Frame everything you do, whether you're talking about the opportunity of the product. That makes it easier, like we said, to get in front of the right people. We're looking for people who have a reason to do something. Why we're expanding? We're expanding because we have vehicles, we have strategies on the client side that people don't know about that they should. And on the business side, we're expanding because we have an excellent opportunity to grab a lot of market share from the traditional industry, which when you look at that, in one of the largest industries in the world, there's a tidal wave of money that will be on the move. Learn how to ask for referrals and set up the conversation to lead to a yes result for the videos. And we're going to get more into that. And referrals is something that you want to frame. So if you've helped somebody upgrade a term policy to include living benefits, that's how you frame the conversation. Do you see the value of what I provided for you? Let me help other people. Who do you know right now that you think might be in the same situation I could potentially help? And that's really what you're doing. You're helping people. When you ask for referrals from that mentality and that avenue or angle, it's a lot easier to get those versus coming from a referral initiative based on sales. Debt finance. Guys, this is a big problem. Financial literacy, we talk about this, is a major, major problem in this country. People have financial problems. Our company helps solve those problems. Business, product, or both. Education comes to both our partners as well as our clients. And remember, simple things like the rule of 72 does not work with negative numbers. Remember, rule of 72 just says the interest rate divided by 72, how many years it will take our money to double. If we're earning a 9% rate of return, our money should double every 8 years. Well, if you're taking 20, 30 plus percent losses at different intervals in that period of time, rule of 72 means absolutely nothing. So when you eliminate losses from the roadmap and from the portfolio, it allows you to set compound interest, rule of 72, and put them on your side, the client side, the partner side, whoever it is that you're dealing with. We went through this, it was a couple of meetings ago. I told you guys to be wary of this market right now. Coming out, and this is a 5-year market, so this is not a 5-day chart, so this is not going to happen overnight. But you can see that we were kind of coiled into a range over time, and when the election kind of hit right here, you have that breakout, and that breakout has been a nice leg up in the bull market. But you got to a certain point, and we kind of retreated. Now, we tried to make a run back up to that same point, barely eclipsed it, and we had even a deeper correction. That was the December correction. But that ended up being only a correction. And a correction is defined as short, swift, and severe. It's usually less than 30 days, and then it's over. So that was hallmarks of a correction. So you had the run up right here, and then you had this area right here. We had the run up, the back off, the run up, the correction. Now we try to make another run up, and we're backing off. This is called a triple top, guys. That's dangerous because think of yourself as running up a hill. If you run up a hill, and then you go downhill a little bit, you've got another hill, over time you're going to get more and more and more tired and run out of more and more gas. So all of a sudden, the market starts to, not be able to penetrate those highs, and all of a sudden you get, a correction or maybe even worse. Now remember, this is a 5-year chart. It's not going to happen overnight. I bring this up because the annuity conversation for a lot of our clients of certain ages is definitely in the wheelhouse of the conversations that should be taking place for our clients. Living benefits, crusade for the client side of our business. The chances from somebody having one of these from age X to Y is very high. And what does it look like today if it happened yesterday? Remember, if you talk to somebody about the risk of something happening, they don't really care about that. Their ears will perk up on the consequence if something happens or what happens to them and their family. Once again, when you're framing your language, your conversations, we are expanding to make sure people have access to the best tools and products they did not know existed. Remember, as the income plummets and the expenses go through the roof, on the top here, living benefits offer a parallel, a standard of living protection, bridges the capital that can help not only with the living expenses, but also help with alternative health care if they need it, or whatever else might be going on at that time. Living benefits on the term side, you can build an entire nationwide business off that product alone. The alternative that we see in a lot of the marketplace today is GoFundMe. It's a sad state when you're out there basically with your hands held out begging for money when we, as an organization, a company, have a mission statement to eliminate as much of this as possible and put people in a better position where they're more self-reliant and they can provide for them and their families during these times of needs. So, I always like to give people choices. So if you have two choices, your consultant can show up with a casserole if you had a heart attack, stroke, cancer, or if there's been a premature death in the family, or the consultant can show up with a check. Now, we're in a virtual environment, so I just want to kind of make this a physical kind of analogy, but you got a choice. I can show up with a casserole, or I can show up with a check for $250,000. What do you want? I've had people, Alana and I know people that died, and you go over there, and there are plenty of casseroles. There are plenty of food. That's really all people know how to do in those times of need. What we show up with is a check that secures the standard of living and offers them the ability to concentrate on whether it's the grieving process if somebody's died, or if they're sick or hurt, getting better, fighting, and recovering. So never forget what you do. There's 3 very small, short YouTube videos on the back end of my channel: Living Benefits Basics, Building Financial Security, and then Living Benefits is the smartphone of life insurance. Become a living benefits expert. It will monetarily reward you in a big way. Also remember, you're a brand, and we want to work on that. Virtual Financial is a brand, but no one cares about Virtual Financial on the front end. What they care about is who you are, how approachable you are, how interesting you are, and then from that point, it can open conversations that lead to the back end. And listen, a lot of you guys are doing more than Virtual Financial, so you don't want to limit yourself, and that brand that you're creating, that personal brand, allows you to open conversations and take it in directions that you want to go. So, be able to tell stories, be able to be discovering, syndicating, engaging, measuring, and you've got your home, whatever that's going to be, your website or whatever that might be, and you've got all your landing pages and your social media accounts that kind of revolve around that. Video builds the know, like, and trust factor the fastest. Make it personal. Put yourself out there. People will respect you. Even if it's not a good video, people, trust me, will respect the effort and respect the fact that you're putting yourself out there. You're human. People want to gravitate towards people they like, and they want to talk to and potentially work with. LinkedIn. We've been talking about LinkedIn. First connections, easy way to group for direct messages. So if you've got, for example, in that search bar, if you've got a few thousand connections and all of a sudden you look up, for example, entrepreneur, real estate agent, insurance agent, whatever it might be, you got a few hundred of those. Now you can do direct targeted messages to those people to try to open up conversations. The second connections is the easiest way to search for new connections to build that audience. Eventually, what you want to do, not in the beginning, we don't want to throw too much on you in the beginning, but eventually what you want to do is create create multiple campaigns, like we talked about, that doesn't require you to do the outbound. It requires you to put up ad campaigns that are very effective, that we're going to work on an individual basis, that has people exposed to information. What problems you're solving, who you work with, who you don't work with. On the partner side, the client side will be a little bit different. Once you find campaigns that work, the scaling of those campaigns is just adding the additional money to the campaigns and the advertising. Remember, we don't want to have this business for you or your partners as a crapshoot, meaning that you're just doing activity every day and you're not sure what, if anything, is going to come out of that. You want to move it to a predictable system where people are raising their hand after they've been introduced to information and say, yes, I want to talk to you. And eventually, you've got a lot of different ways you can deploy ads. Remember, we talk about LinkedIn and Facebook as our top tier. There's tons of ways. You can blow this up on an exponential scale that's going to make other people inside this industry, it's going to make their heads spin. Headlines. When you're writing articles, when you're writing emails, half the battle is getting somebody to open that. So when you're looking through your emails, just kind of figure out, when you open something and you figure out it was an email that you didn't want in the first place, why did you open it? Probably because the headline enticed you to. So separate yourself from the crowd, write effective headlines. That's half the battle. If you got a great email or you got a great article, but your headline sucks, no one's really going to see it. So you want to make sure it's kind of like waving to somebody in a pitch black dark room. You may know what you're trying to do, but they have no idea. So the headline is very, very, very important. Work on effective headlines. Your income, not necessarily for you guys, but for the partners or the potential partners you're talking to, is directly related to your philosophy, not the economy. We talk about, periods of time, the Great Depression, more millionaires minted in that period of time than any other time. Resources were cheap, barriers to entry were almost non-existent. That's the mentality we're looking for. If it's a recession, it doesn't make a difference. We can still make money. It doesn't matter who the president is. We can still make money. So if somebody's locked into a mindset where macro extraneous forces they think is going to be the determining factor of their success, not the right fit. Also, I like partners that are unrealistic. Being realistic is the most commonly traveled road to mediocrity. I want people with big dreams. It doesn't mean that we don't bring on people that just want to make some part-time income, but that core group that you're looking for, you want the mindset to be there, and you want them to have pretty much unrealistic goals. Sort of like Grant Cardone, the 10X rule. You want to put things out there that you think might be unreachable, and if you get some of the way there, it will probably crush any goal that you could have made that was a realistic goal. Success is going to be awarded to those willing to do the uncomfortable. We always talk about this. The only constant is change, and most of the growth is going to come outside your comfort zone. So once again, when you're evaluating partners, is that type of person that needs to be over in the corner in their little comfort area, this is not the business for them. Remember, the 2% mindset, the 1% income earners, it all comes from a mindset and it comes from opportunity. You can have a great mindset, you can have a great work ethic, but if you're in the wrong opportunity, you're not going to get to where you want to go. So the 1%er in 2015 tax year, 480,000. Got a lot of people already on this platform making that money. Our digital influence on the platform will drive that growth even more. So in order to become the 1%, you've got to do what the other 99% want to do. And I'm going to leave you guys with this. I choose to surround myself with phenomenal people who are confident and secure enough to know there's room for all of us to make it to the finish line. If a partner comes in and they are of the jealous type where they're trying to tear down people because they're seeing them jump ahead and become successful, you want to get rid of those people as soon as possible because that bad apple, the old cliche, spoils the bunch. You want to surround yourself with phenomenal people, talented people, confident people that know there's enough in this for all of us. Only dead fish go with the flow. Remember that. So I think we did pretty good today. We've got a couple extra minutes here. If you guys have any questions, by all means, Alana's going to unmute this. You can ask them. If you need help on a one-on-one basis, by all means, if you're working towards this business, we will definitely make time to assist you and help you with whatever else that you need.
I know I say this all the time, but that was like one of the best trainings ever. I learned so much. Thank you so much, Mike. Much appreciated. So let me do this. Let me go ahead and turn off the recording, and then we'll open up the floor. Thanks.